We have a new massive Elliotte Friedman report that states that Craig Conroy is restricting information on all of the Flames trade rumors heading up to the NHL trade deadline. Plus, with the Bruins in town tonight at the Dome, this gives the team a good opportunity to scout out some potential trades. Welcome to Flames Digest. I'm Mark Griffith. If you're new around here and you love the Flames, make sure you subscribe because just around 88% of the people watching are not subscribed. So if you want to stay up to date on all the latest news, updates, reports, and rumors on the Flames, then make sure you stick around. But like I said, Friedman has said it. Craig Conroy is not going to be revealing much information, his master plan heading up to the deadline. Conroy is actually restricting some info on what his plans are heading up to the deadline. And my goodness, I can't just drop Elliotte Friedman's name without some, actual validity to it coming on. So how do we do that here on Flames Digest? Just in one simple way. And that, of course, is the Fried bomb, the F-bomb. My goodness, I will use that any chance I get. But let's get into what Elliotte Friedman actually said on the 32 Thoughts podcast here. So Calgary and the respective agents are trying to ease the noise by restricting information, which of course is good for them as in the Flames, bad for us as in anyone not within the organization. I think he's also, referring to the Flames media, NHL media in general, and also Flames fans as the us here. But what this means is that fans may no longer be in the know as to what Conroy has up his sleeve over the next few weeks. A trade could come at any time, and there's a chance that nobody knows it's happening until it gets announced by the team themselves. As we know in the NHL, oftentimes when a trade breaks, it's Friedman, it's Dreger, it's Johnston, it's Saravalli, it's Pierre LeBrun. It used to be Bob MacKenzie. Man, Bob, please come out of retirement. We miss you, Bobby Margarita. But Conroy, he's playing his cards very, very close to his chest. And I think this is a good thing for, obviously, the Flames. It means they can get rid of that noise. Just focus on the hockey, play the hockey. They're only 3 points out of a wild card spot right now. Focus on the hockey. Don't need to be talking all these trade talks all the time. I'm sure the players are sick of hearing about it. They're sick of talking about it. I'm sure Conroy's sick of talking about it. My goodness. Am I sick of talking about it? Not at all. I'll keep you updated with all of the trade rumors and everything involved with that. But let's continue what is said here. So, that's actually is what I wanted to bring up. The trade bait list. As we know, this is TSN's new trade bait list. And my goodness, is it a little top heavy with some Calgary Flames? As we know, Noah Hanifin, Jacob Markstrom, Chris Tanev. And we have been talking about it like crazy for weeks now. Weeks and weeks. And there's only 2 more weeks of this craziness until the actual deadline. But it's very, very, very good that Conroy has stated now, you know what? Let's just not talk about it. Let's focus on the hockey. We'll continue to talk about it no matter what, of course, as the NHL media, of course, Flames media in general. But as we know, the Flames have a lot to give away at the deadline. They're going to be sellers. Is Markstrom going? It's definitely not known. Hanifin and Tanev should go for good asset management. It would definitely show that Conroy has what it takes to take care of this franchise. This organization wants what's best for it. And you know what? Tonight, pretty good opportunity to make a difference. We have a very unique situation tonight. So as we know, the Flames are hosting the Boston Bruins tonight. And the Bruins are a team who have been rumored to be very, very interested in some Flames, most notably, of course, Noah Hanifin. If you wanted almost a whole video on that, make sure you check out yesterday's video from Flames Digest that very much focuses on Noah Hanifin going to the Bruins. But, tonight, a very unique situation as the Bruins are in town, and that gives both teams the chance to scout out each other's rosters, each other's assets. So when the Flames were in Boston a couple weeks ago now, the Flames did send out some scouts to do that. The assistant GM and the head of scouting, I believe, were both there. Same thing kind of goes for tonight. Both teams will probably be scouting each other out. So the Boston Bruins need defensemen. The Calgary Flames boast defensemen to trade. Is a deal to be had. With the Bruins in Calgary to face the Flames, the potential for a swap is easy to find. Tonight's game will be an opportunity to spy one of Boston's most desirable up-and-comers who could fill a hole in Calgary, defenseman Mason Lohrei. Lohrei is coming off a 3-assist game in Edmonton. That was just last night. And this guy isn't a points guy, so 3 assists was very good for him. Among Boston's forwards are right-wing Fabian Lysell, who could be the team's top prospect, as well as a couple of centers also in the minors in John Farinacci and Brett Harrison. Injured center Matthew Poitras would also be of value. As for draft picks, the Bruins are without their top 3 picks this year, but they have their first and third rounds for 2025, and then they've got a full complement in 2026. So definitely a chance for, we've all been talking about how, the Bruins would like to probably scout out Hanifin. Is Hanifin going to be traded for Ullmark? I can't believe that's a valid trade rumor right now. Ullmark for Hanifin? My goodness. That's not what the teams will actually end up doing. That's not what they need. But let's focus on that top one there, and Mason Lohrei. So, I hit the wrong button. My goodness, I'm bad at that in this video. There we go. Mason Lohrei. So these are his NHL stats so far in his career. So he's 9 points in 28 games. He's a -2, not great. But guess what? Look at the bottom there. He's still very young. He's only 23. He's only played 28 games in the NHL. And at the very bottom there, you see he's from the 2020 draft. He was a second rounder by the Bruins back in 2020. And the thing about the 2020 draft was that the juniors that year didn't get to play, as much hockey that year. The hockey was cut short. There was no playoffs in the juniors. So that draft is a little bit skewed. Could he have gone higher? Potentially, had he been able to show more of what he had. I'm talking about everything here. Obviously we know what happened in the NHL and then the bubble, but junior hockey was called off. NCAA hockey called off. It was a strange draft year because the players didn't get to show every single thing they had. So maybe Lohrei is better than what many people think. And if Hanifin is to go to Boston, Lohrei, great replacement. Here, I'll pull it up again. He does shoot left. Maybe that's not exactly what everyone needs because, and by everyone, I mean the Flames, because a lot of players do shoot left. But either way, he is also big, 6'5", and he's already got some good weight on him. So 6'5", very big guy. I was listening to Sportsnet as well this morning on the radio, and they were saying, you know what? He's a big guy, won't expect it to get lots of points. Like, you'd expect Hanifin to get a point maybe every 2 or 3 games, something like that. This guy won't be like that. Last night was amazing, seeing 3 assists against Edmonton, but he's more of, he's not going to play on the power play. He's more of a shutdown guy. He'll hit you hard, plays very, very well. I've actually watched some of his highlights, and I liked what I saw, but obviously that's what's going to happen when you watch the highlights. You're not going to look up a guy's lowlights. But Lohrei actually doesn't look too bad. And for not this year, but next year's first-round pick to maybe be in the conversation for a trade with the Bruins, I like it a lot. I really, really, really do. And Hanifin, I think if he is to go to Boston, Boston might be the team that gives up the most to get him, just because Hanifin could be seen as a long-term player for Boston. So if you're watching the game tonight, make sure you look out for Mason Lohrei, and make sure you look out for maybe some other Boston players who you think could potentially come back in a trade leading up to the deadline. But with that being said, let's take a quick look at tonight's game. So as we know, said it many times in this video, but Boston is in Calgary tonight. Calgary trying to ride that amazing 6-3 win against Winnipeg back on Monday. And hey, maybe they'll get the momentum going a bit here. They're only 3 points out of a wild card spot, and a win against Boston. Again, they dominated Boston the last time they played them. So it would be very, very good if they could keep that going. Jacob Markstrom is the starter tonight. No surprise there. Wouldn't have expected Vladar to be suiting up, but it's great that Markstrom's getting to showcase his value some more. And Jacob Pelche, who was skating today for the first time since his injury against New York, he will not be playing tonight. He's not quite ready to return, but expect a Jacob Pelche return in the near future. I know Flames fans love him, love his energy, and he will be back in the lineup very soon. Thank goodness his upper body injury was not as bad as it could have been. We all know that bad shoulder that he has dealt with. So that is fantastic news. I very much hope the game tonight is a blast. I really, really hope the Flames do well. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe if you're new to the channel. And, of course, enjoy the game tonight. Go Flames, go.